So recently there's been a lot of talk about the supposed debate bros among the left, most notably, of course, Vosh, which is a YouTuber that I know a lot of people take contention with, but I personally have a soft spot for because he kind of took part in my de-radicalization away from anti-SJW nonsense, like I've already made clear. But anyways, a lot of people find these YouTubers to be problematic. A lot of people among the online left find these people problematic, and also a lot of reactionaries seem to find these people problematic as well. You've been seeing a lot of people like Sargon of Akkad or Styx Hexenhammer talk about why they will never debate anyone, any of these debate bros in the left, which if you take notice that these are the same exact people who, for years on end, would say, the left would never debate me, they're too scared to debate, and when you finally have some competent leftists who are willing to debate, they cower in fear, which that I find a little bit ironic and funny, but that aside, I still do have my issues with these kind of people among the left. And it's not just the online left I take issue with on this, it's just debate culture that's prevalent on the internet in general. Your ideas are only valid if you can go on someone else's stream and duke it out with them and argue your ideas with them, which not everyone is equipped to debate someone, okay? I don't see myself as a competent debater. I mean, I do YouTube rants, but that's kind of sort of different from going on someone's stream and actually arguing with someone about your positions on certain things, because I don't like confrontation so much. I'm very, very shy and very, very uncomfortable with, aggressive confrontations like that, having to defend my positions on things, and you may say this makes me a coward, but that's just kind of how I am. It's part of my anxiety. So that's why I kind of fear that someday one of these debate bros is going to approach me and say, why don't you come on my stream and debate your ideas with me if you're so confident that you're right? And I'll tell them that I don't exactly like the debate format. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry, but I respectfully decline. And then they're gonna go to their fan base and start talking all sorts of shit about me, and then sick their fans on me, calling me a coward, every name under the book, pretty much harassing me. And that's what I think this toxic debate culture online leads to. Harassment. Whenever someone may have a valid reason not to debate someone, oh, they sick their fan base on this person, and they never hear the end of it for a very, very long time. And I know people like Vosh don't exactly do this and don't exactly exhibit behavior like this, but they still partake in a culture that kind of sort of normalizes this behavior, or at the very least encourage people to go out and call someone who chooses not to participate in an online debate a coward, a sissy, all these other pejoratives for simply not wanting to participate in a debate, even if their reasoning may be rational and valid. And honestly, I find a lot of online debates to be rather pointless. A lot of them don't really accomplish anything. I mean, sure, one can argue that if one looks up to, I don't know, a neo-Nazi, and then that said neo-Nazi chooses to debate a leftist, and that leftist absolutely crushes them in a debate, their minds may be changed, but honestly, does that even really happen all that often? I mean, sure, it may happen, but I'm sure if one is already a fan of someone who is a neo-Nazi, they're already pretty far gone, and they're gonna think that neo-Nazi smoked the leftist and not vice versa, even if that may not be based in reality at all. And that leads me to my next point. Internet debates are pretty much intellectual WWE. It's not about who has the best ideas, who brings the best points to the table. It's about who has the best zingers, who's shouting over the other person. Pretty petty things like that people love to focus on, because people love a shit show. They don't care about the actual ideas that are brought to the table. They just care if their guy comes out on top, because if one is in one camp, they're typically going to root for the guy that they already side with, and they're going to agree with everything the person is saying, even if the person they're debating brings up good points and may have the upper hand. They don't care. They're still going to root for their guy, and they're still going to, at the end of the day, think their guy won, because they have the ideas that they agree with. Now, does that mean I'm completely averse to the idea of debating? Of course not, otherwise I wouldn't be making the kind of videos that I make, but at the same time, I feel like the format of debating that the internet has adopted just breeds a toxic culture, and is just toxic in and of itself. I myself used to participate in this culture. I've never actually debated someone, well, verbally, but I used to always spectate debates that I would love to see. Like, I remember watching the Vosh versus Sargon debates live and loved the shit out of those, but now I just kind of think, what was the point? I mean, neither party was convinced by either's ideas, and I don't think either fan base of either party was convinced by any of the ideas that their opponent brought to the table. So, really, what was the point? A shouting match? Well, that was definitely accomplished in the first debate, but, I guess in a way, they accomplished putting on a successful shit show, which they certainly did. And that was really enough for most people. It was enough for me at the time. I wanted to watch a good shit show because I hate the fuck out of Sargon, and I, at the time, wanted to see Vosh destroy Sargon with facts and logic, and I certainly did get that, but now I'm like, what was the point in watching those debates? I already knew that I was gonna hate everything Sargon was gonna say going in, so why exactly did I waste my time watching that? Why did I tune into both of those debates that were like 3+ hours long when I already knew that I wasn't going to agree with anything Sargon said because Sargon is a piece of shit white nationalist? So that's really why I don't like most online debates. They can be a good exchange of ideas when done right, but for the most part, they're just shit shows put on by content creators to serve their thirsty for blood fan bases, and that's really what most online debates amount to. Anyway, feel free to challenge me to a live debate on this topic. I'll be sure to very happily ignore your request. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.